Well, Mark, a comprehensive 3-0 victory against West Bromwich Albion under-21s this evening. You must be delighted with that performance.
Yeah, we got everything we needed out of the game. We got players game time that needed it. We've got a couple of really young lads on the pitch, and we won the game.
And then firstly we'll look at the minutes of those first team players. Obviously great to get the minutes into the legs of those boys that haven't been involved in the first few games of the league season.
That's right. Obviously we've been playing a couple of weeks, and so everyone's had a couple of games now. It's important. We played this game for, Matty, Marchie, Elliot Whitehouse, Taylor Allen, Dom, Stokesy, those kind of players that needed the minutes.
And Matty amongst the goals again in this competition. With performances like this in these games, he must put himself in your mind for Saturday.
Oh, all of them. Matty, Jake Young was outstanding tonight, scored a great goal. Stokesy, Marchie, they're all in my thoughts, and it's the boys in the team are not doing a lot wrong at the minute, apart from we're not converting enough chances. But it's great as a coach, a manager, that you have different options.
I suppose in some sense it gives you a little bit of a selection headache, but it's an issue you want, isn't it, as a manager?
Of course, as long as we do it with the right intentions, and the boys that are not on the team understand why, and they know that they're going to get their chance at some point, and these games keep them sharp for when they do get their chance.
And the team in the league has been a very consistent side. When you've got players like this knocking on the door, is it a case of not wanting to disrupt a team that's playing well, or are you always keeping those boys on their toes?
It's a fine balance between, right, do we change it now and do we interrupt something that's going quite well, or do we put one or two in and disrupt it? So it is a fine balance, and it's something that we need to think hard about.
And a start for Jack Carter tonight, a right wing back, making him the club's youngest player in their history in EFL competition. You must be delighted, A, for the academy, and B, for the lad himself.
Yeah, I think it shows now with the synergy that we've got with Hannah, Jimmy, Kev working through the academy, that there's a pathway now for the young boys to actually come into the team, and when they get in and around our group, they're ready. Chris Barker did some good work for us, last year, and then we followed that on with Jimmy. So it's great for the academy now, and it shows players that if we want to recruit, that they have a chance to play in our first team. And Jack and Finn have done great tonight. And
Finn Bell obviously joined the fray with a little under 10 minutes to go. Are you pleased with the performance of both those young boys?
Fantastic. 15 years old to play in the first team. It takes some doing, and they've been magnificent in the games that I've watched, and when they've been in with the first team group, I think you can tell when a young player comes into a first team environment that the lads make that transition seamless, because they know that they're good players, and they trust them with the ball.
And it must be quite nerve-wracking for a player of that age. I know at 15 I wouldn't have wanted to step out onto the pitch, crowd or not. How do you help ease that transition, apart from the players being welcoming to those young boys?
Well, I think because we have a way of playing throughout the club, it's not a shock when they come into the first team environment how we're going to play. It's a seamless transition, and we just give them confidence. They trained with us yesterday. We managed to get them out of school. Finn's dad's a headmaster, so that one was easy. And we worked on how we were going to play tonight and the shape, so it wasn't, like I say, a big shock.
And that way you play really shone through once again tonight, popping the ball around on a really slick surface.
Pitch is vital for us. This time last year, the 2 games we've had would have been off because of the rain we've had. So the pitch is in great nick, credit to the groundsman.
And looking ahead now to the weekend, I imagine those young boys, they won't be putting themselves into contention yet, but it's nice to have them ticking around in the squad and slowly starting to get used to things and gradually build their way forward.
That's right. It's important that they recover from the game first. They look at the game, and that they make sure when they go back into the under-18s that their performances between now and the next Checkatrade game make us think about giving them another go.
And you've mentioned your synergy with the academy. Does bringing 15-year-olds through from the academy help that even more, because then they're going back to their youth sides and they're spreading, I suppose, the message of how you want to play football as well as the coaches?
I think so. I think that obviously when the 2 boys go back into the academy, the other boys that have in their team that have not made it tonight will be thinking, look, it's going to up their game. I want to be involved next, and that's how you get a real pathway and a real synergy through the group.
And I suppose that's a real strength with the academy here. Obviously, it's well known that as a manager you like to trust young players and like to play them.
Yeah, I just think they give us a real energy, but I think the big difference now is we have probably 4 or 5 players that are experienced in terms of game time that can help those younger players improve. And when it comes tough times in the game, so we're under a little bit of pressure tonight at the start of the second half, and you've got Chris Stokes there that can calm everything down and say, listen, this is what we need to do to get us through that rough period. And it teaches the young boys, and that's been a big difference this year for me.
And with all the talk of the two 15-year-olds, Jack and Finn, it's hard to forget almost that you've got Vaughan and Harvey on there as well, who Vaughan only just 17 years of age, so there's that real youth shining through.
That's it, but you know, like the difficult thing when you're a young player is that people are always trying to take your place, and you've got to keep pushing forward. You know, you can't settle for mediocrity. You've got to keep striving forward, pushing forward, because there's always somebody ready to take your place.